Icebreaker.
The stated goals are for him to introduce himself to the club and to learn the basic structure of his speech. He's a West Point graduate, a Desert Storm veteran, and a guy who was honored to serve his country in war and peace. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Jeff Rufenacht with a speech entitled, "And the Battle of Wadi al-Batin." Jeff Rufenacht.
I think I botched that.
Yeah. Do you want to read the last part again?
Yeah,
Ego. Yeah.
There's some cross-outs here, sorry. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Jeff Rufenacht with a speech entitled, "Ego and God and the Battle of Wadi al-Batin." Right. Jeff Rufenacht.
Toastmasters and guests, join me in the Wayback Machine as we travel back in time to September 1990. We're stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. We're in a tank company together in the Army, Kelly, and we're going to be deploying in about a week. We are at a lakefront pavilion. Actually, you all are at a lakefront pavilion as we are celebrating with friends and family. It's a farewell right before we deploy. I'm not quite there yet because I'm cruising up on my Ninja 600R motorcycle. I'm feeling cool as I come to a stop and you all are looking towards me. I step off the bike and catch it as it almost hits the pavement. You all are still staring at me because I forgot to put the kickstand down. Toastmasters and guests, ego. We've all been there, right? In 12-step recovery circles, we talk about ego as being easing God out. Today, I want to talk about ego, God, and the battle of Wadi al-Batin and Desert Storm. For my purposes, when I talk about ego and God today, we're going to talk about taking the easy way out versus doing what needs to be done. We're going to talk about gratitude versus grumbling. And we're going to talk about being obsessed with self versus being others focused. And I'm going to need your help in a couple of ways. Has anybody ever heard the word hua? Hua is used in the Army to mean, yes, I agree, got it, understood. So when I ever say a questioning hua, you're going to respond with a loud and thunderous hua. Everybody got it? Hua? Hua! The other is, if I have something I want you to answer in the negative, I'm just going to ask a negative question and I'm going to want you to sound off with a loud and thunderous, no sir! No, but you all won't be able to do that, will you? No, sir! Very good. So let's advance just a few months. We've now been deployed in the sands of Saudi Arabia for a few months. It's February. The air war has been going on for close to a month, and we are going to be part of an operation where we are going to conduct a feint up the Wadi al-Batin. F-E-I-N-T, not F-A-I-N-T, for those wondering. If you look up the Battle of Wadi al-Batin, you can find it on Wikipedia, but there was the first operation called Night Strike 1, the second was Night Strike 2. The first operation was a battalion-sized element. It's our tank company of 14 tanks plus 4 other companies. And as we're advancing, unfortunately, a fellow company took some casualties. They asked our tank platoon to move forward and basically be a shield as they evacuated the casualties. Then they said also if you could help us evacuate some of the equipment. So we dismounted our M1A1 Abrams main battle tank, all 73 tons of her and a lot of safety. And as we're recovering some of the debris, I see what looks to be a fireworks display. But it's not a fireworks display, it's a mortar round, white phosphorus. If anybody knows anything about white phosphorus, if it hits your skin, it will just keep going and burn all the way through. That would have been a great time for us to look to take the easy way out, for us to grumble and complain about our circumstances, for us to be obsessed with ourselves and our safety. But we didn't do that, did we? No, we didn't. With gratitude for the training we had, we had an others focus, the people behind us, the dead, the wounded, everybody else, and each other. We did what needed to be done. Hua! Hua! All right, let's move forward to Night Strike 2. It's about a week later, and now it is a brigade-size element. Let's work through that vernacular. Just think of a giant triangle, battalion, battalion. We're in the lead battalion. Now in the battalion, 5 companies. 2 companies, 2 companies. We're the lead company. Our tank company, 3 platoons. Platoon, platoon. We're the lead platoon. I had lost one of my tanks already, so there were just 3 tanks, and you guessed it. Tank, we're the lead tank. So with hundreds of vehicles behind us, once the scouts pulled back from the front, we were the lead vehicle. At noon that day, February 20th, 1991, they called a short halt. It was a beautiful, brilliant blue day. The vista was just unimaginable how clear it was. And all of a sudden, my gunner, Sergeant Andrews, said, "Sir!" I dropped down and looked through my tank commander's sight. My jaw about hit the ground as I saw flames as far as the eye could see to the left and right. They had lit the oil trenches on fire, as they had said they would do. Flames are flying hundreds of feet in the air, and subsequently, a curtain of black arose from the ground, almost as if in reverse. The winds that day were north to south at about 10 miles an hour. It took about 15 minutes for us to be engulfed in day to become night. We had already had a soldier be evacuated because he had had a mental break. This was a very stressful time. This would have been a great time for us to be wanting to take the easy way out, for us to want to be grumbling and complaining about our circumstances, obsessed with self and safety. We didn't do that, did we?
No, sir.
No, we did not. With gratitude for our country, with a desire to serve each other, we had that others focus. We were thinking about you as well as ourselves. We did what needed to be done. And by and large, most of us came home safely, and that 28-country coalition won that war. But Toastmasters and guests, this isn't just about the Battle of Wadi al-Batin. This isn't just about Night Strike 1 and 2. This isn't just about me. This is about each of us and how we carry on in our day-to-day lives. In our day-to-day lives, are we driven by ego, where we want to take the easy way out? We want to grumble. We're obsessed with ourselves and our circumstances. Or do we live with an attitude of gratitude, where we're others focused, and we just do what needs to be done? My hope for us, my prayer for us, each of us, is that each day as we get up, we make a conscious choice that today is going to be a day that we don't ease God out. Hooah! Hooah! Mr. Toastmaster.